Alright guys, we're starting a R2D2 C3PO coin. We're only gonna do the outline on the R2D2 in the border, and then we're gonna carve around R2D2 before we do the other design again. What we're doing is try to get it more like 3D, so the R2D2 will be closer to you than C3PO, and then the Death Star will be farther back than that. I'm going to start with that Angulette engraver. It's a 2.0 quick change from GRS. Just going to give it a little light outline. Once we get it outlined, we'll start sculpting R2D2. Alright, I think that's close enough. We can start sculpting. And I'm not even going to worry about the design on the background, because like I said, we're going to carve the R2D2 first to get him out farther. so he's going to stick out farther than the rest of the design. And I'm going to go to 40 flat engraver, and we're going to start with this leg over here. The edge of it. From the edge of the leg. The outside of him is pretty deep. We want him to stick out pretty good, so we're going to get it nice and deep on the outside. Carved it back a little bit. We want to get his leg so it looks like it's the border of the coin. And there's a copper layer underneath that we'll probably get to and use it for like the sand or the like planet looking ground. Tapering it down away from his leg, so it tapers away from it. It's not such a sudden. You'll notice you'll be fixing a lot of lines when you're sculpting. Anything you try to make 3D, at least for me, I'll draw the image on 3 or 4 times to get the effect that I want to get and get it down deeper. Each time you erase a little bit, and each time you got to go back over it with the liner, but the effect's a lot better when you're done. tapering the edges. And then we want to carve it down again, and then the line that you see me just go over for his leg, put it back in there. So we pretty much just stepped it down. So we got, this leg looks like it's higher than R2D2, and then the other leg looks like it's farther back. That's how you get the effect, is you pretty much carve it in layers. The whole background is going to get cut down once you get it carved around the R2D2, and then you start removing metal. You could do it with a flat graver like I'm doing here, or you could use a rotary, a ball burr, and then go back and flatten it back out afterwards with the flat graver. Just tapering the other side of R2D2. Pretty much just rounding the edges. Once we get R2D2 done and sculpted, we're going to be doing the design again in a C3PO. We're going to cut out and actually put copper. We're going to make him copper. And then the surrounding background, the planet they're standing at, we'll use the original copper of the coin. Again, we're just carving around him and just removing as much metal as we can remove with the blade. Do this little line here. So it looks like his bottom leg is coming out of the bottom of him. Around, and the other part of his foot is right down here. The edge of it. But and then this foot over here, we're going to start a little farther than the rest of it. And we're going to go around it. So now this sits farther back than this foot. Go under the floor. Now this little piece on his leg right here, we're gonna go around it and taper it out too to where it looks like it's raised off his leg. that gives it the effect that his bottom foot and his top shoulder will stick out farther than the front part. Gotta make it ugly to make it pretty. And then once we do that, all these lines that we done messed up, we got to put back. This is the part I really enjoy. Like, it takes longer. It's harder, but it's more rewarding when you're done. Get more satisfaction. These little circles. I think that's pretty decent for the leg. I'll show you this little tight area right in here. All these little tight spots. We got a little actually angulette I use up in the corner of it. But you could use a smaller flat like a 37. It's a little smaller than the 40. And you can get that as far as it'll reach. And we're going to go really deep because I want to reach the copper in the middle of the point. Again, this is a 37. That's pretty much the big area. Now we're going to put the angulette back in the handpiece. And we're going to use it to get in the little corners. And if you, I kind of use it as a scraper, like I'll keep it rolling and just kind of move it back and forth as you're going up in there. Move it all around. I also have a little, it's a K2, which the K is for knife, so it's a quick change knife 2 from GRS, and I just barely knocked the bottom off of it, the knife blade part of it, to make a little tiny flat. And I'll use that in tight spaces too. It just gives you a little tiny more than just the point of a handgraved. So that's gonna flatten the marks out from the angulette that you use in the little corner. Little corner, you could do the same. Use your the little flat, custom flat, and then at the very point, and now just use your angulette again to do the corner. Now I'm going to put the 40 back in and just go a little deeper on this. Yeah, we're going to make him stick way out there. There's no easy way of doing it this way. You just, like when you want to carve more 3D or more sculpting, you got to roll with the punches and just get it done. But I honestly enjoy sculpting more than I do engraving. You pretty much just look at it and think like what would be closest to you and start from there. The closest thing for you would start, carve everything down. The next closest thing to you, next part, closest part to you, carve that down, and then you just do it in layers. And the bad thing, like I said, you have to keep going over your line work when you're done because you destroy it constantly. But you guys all get to see what goes into a coin and how long you actually, how long it actually takes you to get somewhere on one. And I mean, coins are pretty soft too, so you get into like guns and harder material, it takes even longer. Alright, I'm gonna sand this leg down and some of the surrounding, put a little detail in it. And I probably waste a lot of super stones doing it this way too, but I just like help you see and like get more detail out of things too, I guess. But it'll be going back on. These are super stones that I'm using, ceramic super stones. A lot of times too, you can just go over it with the brass brush just to dull the finish, and it's a little easier to see and keep track of things too. And a lot of times I don't even switch out for an arguette or a line engraver. Just turn your flat to the corner. Just go right over the line that you had in it previously. You do this with the corner of your flat. Or it's easier to just put an arguette in it. But I've gotten pretty used to using a flat, the corner of a flat for line, so. brass brush. Just going to put some lines back over on him. Sand it again. You really don't have to keep sanding it and going over it like I'm doing, but it just seems like my work turns out better when I do this. You can pretty much see the details and stuff as you go doing it that way.